Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carpo here. It's Sunday, April 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever, something, 2017. And I'm just going to make a quick video and just say, hey, how's it going? And to just kind of, to try to lend just a little, what would I say, a little insight, I guess. I haven't even really thought as far as to say what I was going to say, because I started making a video a few minutes ago and I got interrupted. Then I started making another video, which both of the videos were about like being frustrated in life, or being interpreted as being frustrated or angry. And then I went on to the next video and I kind of got partway into it, and for some reason I think I don't know, I turned it off again. Anyhow, the point being that if I'm not in the mood to make a video, or I'm not in that state of mind to do it, and I'm distracted, then so be it. Move on and do something else. And that's one of the greatest things about my channel. I can go for a couple days without making a video, and then come back to making a video out of the blue, and if I decide I don't want to make one, I don't make one. And some days I'll make 3 or 4. But it really depends on how I'm feeling. And I've been really comparing that freedom to daily life, and to the way I do business and the way I do my life. Working for myself, you know, the herb business, it's really hard for me to sit down and do an 8-hour workday, or to go work for someone else where I have a very set schedule where I'm doing specific things and I know exactly what I'm going to be doing and who I'm going to be working with. You know, if I'm working with the public, it's different because at least there's a little interaction. But working for myself, I find that some days, you know, I can get right to it, and I'm totally focused and in the mode. And then for a few hours, I'm just feeling a little bit burned out. And that's okay. Maybe not even burned out, but just not in the mood to do that. I'm a hyper-focused person when I'm into something. And when I get going on something, I become very, you know, focused. That's all I can say, is focused on it. Some people, you know, what I found in the past was like cannabis, where cannabis can make a person lazy, and, you know, especially if they smoke too much. But like a toke or two would help me really get focused on a project I was doing, especially if I was doing art or something like that. I really enjoy doing a focused art project where I'm really into it, because I can just go. But anyhow, I'm trying to turn life into art, because life is art. Living it is an art form. I mean, and coping with day-to-day life with those, I guess, those skills of being able to, at least having the access to be able to have that option to live that way, is something I've tried to work towards in my life. Knowing when I was younger that I'm not a person that can be pinned down to a specific task. I don't like planning. I don't like obligations. I take everything on, you know, a day-to-day type of, you know, mentality, and it drives people nuts, especially people close to me. If they want to make plans for something, I'm like, oh, we'll just see what happens. Maybe get concert tickets the night of a sold-out concert. Just go down and hope we get them, that kind of stuff. But it ends up working out. It seems like life just works out. And I know that's not true for everyone. I would say that really it's a perspective issue. Because a lot of the times it doesn't work out. Sometimes I get screwed over. Sometimes I make huge mistakes where I'm way behind. Like with taxes, or, you know, a variety of other things that I need to get taken care of that maybe I've slacked on. But I don't let it eat me alive. I don't let it bother me. And I really like to realize that my opinions are just my opinions in life, and that as I change year to year making these videos, you know, like when I started making them, I might have someone with my own mentality now who I'd have a discussion with and disagree with them. Whereas today I might disagree with somebody who had the same ideas that I had a few years back. Nothing specific, just certain ideas that maybe I've moved forward from, or I'm not interested in anymore, or I've looked at enough to say, it's not that it's true or false, it's just not worth my time. It's just not worth learning about. Let's say, for example, flat Earth. Is it worth arguing whether the Earth is flat? No. I've got much better things to do than prove the Earth is round. Because, and that one key component, that word, proof, is something that I've tried I haven't tried, I've just made an effort, I guess, to not have any beliefs in things that I really feel I have to prove to people. And that's kind of a key. It's like, if you have to defend yourself and what you believe and think constantly, and it ends up causing you problems, then that's something to look at. Now, for example, I've got several older videos where I talked about much more controversial subjects, religious related and whatnot. Some of them were where I'd talk about like Yod Hey Vow Hey, which is, you know, and the old tarot cards and how they all tied into geometry and Judaism and the Kabbalah and stuff like that, because I found it fascinating. I'm really into shapes. I'm into figures. I'm into the phi ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, mathematics that I can somewhat grasp, and seeing how nature seems to speak in patterns. But for example, on one of those videos, I had somebody telling me that I'm a devil worshiper because, this happens regularly on I always get comments like that, but I just wanted to get across the point that it doesn't matter. It's okay if people insult you or don't agree with what you believe. If they're out there trying to prove themselves, and they're out there trying to tell you that you're wrong and convince you that you're somehow evil or wrong because of that, years ago, that's something I would defend myself against. I would say, I'm not a devil worshiper. What are you talking about? And go on this tangent about how the person is obviously wrong and that I can prove my facts and they don't have any proof for theirs. And that's what I've learned is over the years, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you can prove. It's what you can prove to yourself and what you can use. It doesn't matter how much you can convince yourself something is real if it's not helping you in your day-to-day life. If it is helping you, great. If it's something that causes grief and conflict with other people, that's not so great. So to each his own, realizing that we're just humans and we each have the similar capacities in our minds, in our hearts, but that we're learning as we go. That when I was a kid, I wasn't taught that our guts have their own, that our gut produces serotonin and dopamine, and that the brain isn't just this bag of chemicals that tells our body what to do, but rather our body is all integral, that there are actually, for example, neurons, neural connections in our hearts, that our heart-brain connection is real, that our gut-brain connection is real, that our bodies seem to know more than we know, and we've always been aware of that. So going by my gut reaction, I find that living life is most importantly done honestly. And that means if you can't convince yourself of something, there's no point trying to convince other people of it. But, that we've all just got to take it a little easier. Just let things go a little bit. But not just abandon what we care about altogether. We still have to, we still have to stand up for things we find important. I'm not going to sit by and watch people like dump oil down the drain and the neighbors or something, I'm going to say something. It's just what we do. We know what's right and wrong. And that's very, individual to each person. For example, me watching a neighbor dump a gallon of oil down the drain, I would say something. But let's say somebody worked for a larger plant, a big company, and then one gallon out of 1 million spilled. To them, it would be a small deal. Oh, well, it's just a small amount. No big deal. I'm just saying it's always perspective and comparing things to how it could be, how it should be, would be, and we become kind of idealists, and it's very hard to find a standard for anything. And that's why I try not to tell people this is how it should be and this is what we should do. I present my ideas and opinions, and people discuss if they want to, and if not, they can call me a devil worshiper or whatever else. But that just seems like arguing religion absolutely does no good. Arguing politics, it can do some good and change open up some eyes, but generally it seems to do more damage, arguing. Planting a seed is different than arguing, but arguments have their benefits too. So anyway, this was just kind of a ramble video and just a few loose thoughts. I've got to get to work and do some packaging and stuff, and I just figured I'd make this before I started, because it was I'm in one of those modes, and I was like, really at the point when I mentioned, it's like, take advantage of what you have when you have it, and when you feel good, take advantage of that, and when you don't, deal with it. It's okay to feel sick once in a while. Like I was sick yesterday, and I just knew it's okay. I'll feel good tomorrow, and here I am. I'm feeling fine, and not dwelling on the bad things that happen, but taking things as they come. And that also means that you're able to shift your brain quickly into another gear when necessary. Taking advantage of opportunity when it's there and you feel good. Some days you want to feel good and you just don't, and some days you just want to chill, but you feel obligated to get things done, and so we just, we're humans. We just do what we do. We overthink everything. Take care, everybody. I'll talk